What's going on, man?
My dog.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
It's been a little while. I don't really know how long it's been. Josh, you'll have to look and tell me because honestly, it's been too long, bro.
Yeah, it's been
I feel
4
like
or 5 years at least. It's been a minute.
it's been a little while. Last time we talked, I think you were just now getting into, you and I had done some commentary stuff with you. We were just now getting into maybe starting to get into the matchmaking thing with AK, I think, maybe.
No, that's been in the last 2 years.
So when was the last? We're going to figure it out.
I mean,
I think it's been 2 years. I think it's been a little while. But anyways, and you have a fight coming up. You have a lot going on. You have a fight coming up soon. And that we were just talking about this before we started. I haven't spoken to you this close to a fight. It's typically like right after a fight or months in between because, you know, around a show locally or whatever. Yeah. But like currently, how are you feeling like what you're, as it sits today, you're 2 weeks out. So like, how are you feeling? What's it look like? Is this like, you know, how many fights do you think you have left? Do you want to talk about any of that? Like,
yeah. No, okay. I mean, we're in a very familiar spot. I've been here many a times before. You know, I think I've got over 50 sanctioned bouts at this point.
That's crazy, dude.
This will be my 17th UFC fight, and business as usual. They tend to, you know, obviously each fight is different, and the preparation is a little different. Nothing too crazy, but for each individual guy, we have to specialize. Whatever the game plan is, and there is a game plan in place here. So, but everything feels quite familiar. You know, I've been here so many times before, and you know, checking my weight, counting my calories, and that's become much more difficult as I've gotten a little longer in the tooth here. I think I used to just get away with so much because I was a little on the smaller side, and weight has always been a thing to me. It's been difficult to make the weight, but we've always made it pretty efficiently. But now as I'm older, like I can't make any mistakes. It's very involved, very intentional. And I joke around all the time. I'm sure the UFC nutritionist is tired of me because I'm rattling this guy's line every single day, just tripping and asking for help and seeing if we can fix this, fix that. And shout out to UFC nutrition team Dan Marquette. That's my boy, and we're gonna make weight because of him, because of those guys.
So he's had like, when was that last one? 4 years. Dude, you're right. Oh shit, dude, I does not feel like it's been that long.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, man. I should have believed you. I did not realize it's been that long. That's crazy.
I almost wore that shirt again today. I'm happy I didn't.
We did another one. No, 4 years ago. Yeah. That's crazy. Well,
you can tell I'm beefy right there.
Yeah, dude, you were yoked up. That was off season. Yeah. So what is the nutrition thing? Like, how long has that been going on with the UFC? Like, is it since day one, or has that gotten more involved? Because I've noticed, like, it looks like from the outside looking in, it looks like that's, you know, there's been more support there over the past few years. I'm
not sure of the exact timeline. Again, everything kind of starts to bleed together after a while, figuratively and literally. But I know in the beginning when I was in the UFC, there was no nutrition team to help you through the week, and there were no meals. You know, they would do different things, and they still and always have given you like a per diem per day when you're, you know, for fight week. And because they take such good care of me with the meals, I typically just distribute that amongst my cornermen. I give them a couple $100 each for the week, just so they're not coming out of pocket for anything. But it's been fairly recent, I would say, probably within the last 4 or 5 years that they've added the full spectrum of nutrition and taking care of us. And it's kind of a relationship thing too. You know, I've been there for coming up on 10 years. I've been fighting in the UFC, so I feel like I've done a decent job of navigating and cultivating relationships with the nutritionists, with the blue shirts, with the guys that the athletes relations people. Even, you know, I develop relationships with my medical staff, the whole thing, just because you talk to these people all the time. So no, it's been such a wonderful experience. The UFC is it's an entity, and I think few people really understand all the comings and goings that happen behind the scenes, and it's a full thing. It's great. And to be perfectly honest, there, you know, at this point, there's no way I could make weight if I didn't have the help I do. And you know, not to say that if the UFC didn't have these guys in place, I would have to go out and hire somebody.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, it's free nutrition, and it's not completely free. We got to go out there and pay the piper on June 6th. You know, they're trying to keep us in the right place so that we can go out and perform our best. And yeah, so it's free, but it's not, and I'm grateful for it. And I truly believe at this rate, at this point in my life, there's no way I could hit the mark if I didn't have a nutrition team.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the older you get, and like people say that, you know, when you're younger, you hear that, you're like, whatever, bro, because you feel so good. You're like, I feel great. I don't have any ailments. When I wake up in the morning, I can move just fine. My feet, my knees, whatever, don't hurt. Yeah. But I mean, have you even had any major injuries? Like,
nothing major. Yeah, nothing too major. But I mean, I'm banged up. I'm
course,
sure,
yeah.
I'm sure if somebody could crack me open and look at me, they'd be like, dude, what is wrong with this guy? But I've been fortunate to stay relatively healthy for the most part. And I think that's just being smart, listening to your body, taking a day off when you need it, things like that. But it has certainly changed. I know the volume's different nowadays. Like, there are more days where I call my people. I'm like, hey, boys, I need a day. I'm cooked. So that's definitely become something. But at the same time, we waste less time. You know, I'm more polished and have a better understanding, more competent. So the preparation, you know, we're out here working smarter, not harder all the time. But every once in a while, I like to do it the knucklehead way too.
Well, that was my next question. Is for the longest time, like back, it seems like not 15 years ago, but it was. You know, we were training together. It's like, man, you're putting yourself through the ringer every single day, just trying to be as tough as possible and resilient, and just kind of making it. But now it seems like, I mean, what does that look like now? Like this close out to a fight, what are you doing now? You're just focusing on weight cut? I mean, everything's pretty much done.
Yeah, I mean, we're 2 weeks out now, so we've got the rest of this week, and it's going to be more timing and positioning and ideology and working through the concepts this week. There's the hay is in the barn, as they say, and ain't no, like, I'm not going to get in any better shape. I'm not going to get any tougher. And I think a lot of times we even have to like pull back on the reins and tell ourselves that. And even my coach is like, hey, my dog, we know you're tough. You're not here to prove you're tough. You're here to accomplish the task at hand. This is what we're working on. This is what I need you to do. Do that. Don't be a knucklehead. And it's a constant battle because I'm a knucklehead by nature.
So who do you have coming? Who are you fighting? Josh, you pull that card up so we can look at it.
Imanol Rodriguez.
Okay. It's going to be a fight night. It's June. What's the date?
June 6th.
June 6th fight
June
night.
6th.
So what do we know about this guy?
He's stud.
Okay.
Young, explosive, 7-0, undefeated. Mid-20s.
See, they keep feeding you these dogs, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I think we know where we're at in this thing, and I'm well aware of where my standing is with the company. So and to be perfectly honest, full disclosure, I thought after the last one I was done. We had fought out our contract, so I thought that Joseph Morales was going to be my last fight in the octagon. And there was some chatter. You know, I'm good buddies. You know, Mick Maynard is a mentor of mine, a guy who I look up to, love, respect, and admire. And I did put it in his ear that I would like to come back. I would like to, you know, I thought I had more in me. And but we kind of left it there for a little bit, and then I don't know, a couple months ago, I think we got this fight like 13, 14 weeks out. So about let's say 12 weeks ago, I'm still training. I'm at strength and conditioning when I see Mick Maynard's number pop up on my phone. I'm like, let's go. And it's just one of those things where, you know, coming off of a loss, fought out your contract. I'm not really in a position to negotiate. So he said, this is the fight. I said, let's go. And yeah, we back.
So what's this? So there it is. So he's 7-0. He's 26, 36, baby. You getting out there, bro.
Come on.
Let's go. Heck yeah.
Pushing 40.
Okay, so you got some reach on him, a good bit of reach on him.
I don't know how they got my height at 5'7". That's preposterous. Pull out the tape measure right now. I'm 5'8" all day. the heck out of here.
So he's 5'3".
He's probably 5'2". They're gonna take an inch from me and give it to him. Come on.
So what I've noticed like recently, because I always watch every one of your fights, man, and I never try to blow you up after, because I'm sure everybody's DMing you and stuff. But like, dude, every single time I see you fight, it's like there's a lot of seasoned fighters, right? And you see them and you're just like, dude, they just don't have it anymore. Every time I watch you fight, you're better every single time. Like, and if you're, and it, of course, it's always the matchup, right? If you fall into the ring with the guy who's may have it, have an upper hand on this or that or whatever. But like like your boxing, dude, is phenomenal still, and it continues to just get better every time I watch you. Your grappling's amazing. Like dude, you have all the tools, bro. I mean, they're there, bro.
That's why I think I still got some good ones left in me.
I completely agree.
We've seen some of our friends here recently fight a time or two too many times, and they do tend to fall. Not going to name any names. They tend to fall off of a cliff, though, and it's sad for me to see, because I take the preparation, and I've cultivated these skills over a lifetime of battling people, and so I do appreciate that, though I'm not I'm still good at fighting. I'm just not always fighting good, that's kind of what I've been running into tough competition. I've had some, I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan about the things that come up during camps, but there certainly have been some hardships that we face during these camps, and I'm just still trying to get out there, and it's much more difficult now to get through an entire camp. And I still feel like I can do this, though. I still feel like I'm good at fighting, and I've got the skill set, and there's still a will, so I'm hoping there's still a way. And we have a tall task standing in front of us, figuratively, of course, not literally. But this kid's good, and he's explosive, and he's mean, and he's dynamic, and all those things. But the old dog still got bite. I still got some left in me. So I'm excited about it. It is very much a challenge, and I know that it's that, and I know where I stand. And this is a loser goes home match too. If I go out there and get whipped by this kid, it will be my last one inside the octagon. That's just what it is. And I've come to terms with that. So we gonna scratch and claw, baby. Backs against the wall. I feel cornered. So I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, and well, the fact that you're just saying that means a lot, because most people aren't willing to say, hey, this could potentially be it, or what happens if you come up on the other side, which I very well hope you do. Like, what happens then? Where you keep on moving
until the wheels fall off. Come on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, I mean, every time I step out there, I change my family's life. Every single time. I know there's this narrative about fighter pay, and the boy is doing good, though. I go out there and I smack this guy. Who knows what the next contract will be?
Yeah.
And I'm well aware of that as well. So there is plenty of motivation to spare. And yeah, I still have some good ones in me. I'm banged up. I think we'll have to slow it down. Like, if I'm going to fight another 4-5 times, it'll probably be over a 2 to 3 year period. I don't see me knocking out 3 fights a year right now, but I'm still in it. And when I put my feet on the mats, when I lace them up every day, I'm still amongst them. And we're training with good guys, training with young guys who are nipping at my heels and keeping me sharp. And some days, just like all the time, I'm on my way home just rethinking my entire life's decision. What am I doing? This is stupid. I'm terrible at this. But that's part of it, and I think it's part of what keeps me sharp too.
Yeah, I think I had another question too. I think, like, what has it done since you started this matchmaking? How long have you been doing it now for AKA?
2 years.
2 years. So what has that done for your preparation for your stuff? Like, watching all this tape and studying all these guys, like, have you incorporated that into, like, what's your homework on your opponent at all? Has that changed, or has it been about the same?
I have started doing more homework on my opponent, especially after the last one. I don't think I watched 10 seconds of film of Joseph Morales. I watched his whole career, I watched him fight. So I was like, man, I get it. You know, I'm not going to sit here. And even with the matchmaking, just full transparency, I ain't breaking down film oftentimes.
Right.
I'm looking at what's on paper.
Well, you can't with that many, amateurs
exactly.
and young
sometimes
pros,
just to get an idea if I'm having to source a guy from North Carolina, which we just did, then I'm going to watch a little film and just make sure I'm not paying for a flight for some goofball to get on a plane and come get beat up.
Yeah.
So I do want guys to be relatively competent as well. So I'll break down a little film if it's somebody I'm unfamiliar with. But for the most part, through this matchmaking thing, I understand matchups because I understand where they come from. I understand oftentimes and what the matchmaking, the most important thing about matchmaking is the relationship with the coaches and managers. I don't like to deal with a lot of managers at this level just because, you know, I'm kind of impartial to management anyways. I think it's a scam. But some of these guys do have managers who I have to work closely with. So I talk to them and you know, we have to be able to be honest with each other. Like, hey, what do you think about this guy? Where's his skill set? And if I can have honest discussions with coaches, sometimes even teammates, I'll reach out to guys that they train with and ask them about them. And that's how I form my opinion on what it's going to be like on fight night. Is I try to go at it from that perspective. What do guys think about him? Where does his coaches think his skill set is? And it's difficult because you have to navigate that relationship and understand, like, okay, this coach handicaps his guys every single time. Then I start to kind of realize that. So then I match them differently. And then, you know, we go from there. But just full disclosure for the boys trying to match the guys. Let's be honest. Let's always be honest because it helps me to make the matchups that much better.
We've seen that hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Where they just throw these kids in the fire because they want them to get a fight. You know, where these kids are all on the coach like, hey man, I'm ready. And the coach is like, yeah, I mean, you're ready, but like, and then they just take whatever. And it's because, I mean, the level of the fight, like this level of the fight game, which I would say AKA is the tier up now, but used to be, you know, it was just like that level of amateur fighting was just like, man, you just take whatever you get.
Well, and something that I've implemented is I do have standards, you know, and they're not, it's nothing crazy, but if a guy's making his debut, he's not going to fight a guy with 4 fights. No. If a guy is a mid-30s guy making his debut, he's not going to fight a 19-year-old killer. If a guy's 17 years old, I'm not going to put him out there with a 32-year-old man. So I have certain standards and things that I try to keep in place, and it has. I think the proof is in the pudding. I think the matchups tell a story of their own, and I think the reason that AKA has been up and to the right has been because the matchups have been better. And I have no problem. I said that to Miss Amber last night, and she, you know, we agree. It has been a big part, the matchups, and you know, even for the casual fan of fighting, or even less than a casual fan of fighting, they're more intuitive than you think they are. And if you put 2 dummies out there and they're fat and sloppy and neither of them can fight, it kind of disrupts the sanctity of it all. I mean, everybody, like if you've been in the room when a terrible fight's happening and everybody's just kind of like, what are we want? I paid money for this.
Yeah.
So again, I do have standards, and I've had to have difficult conversations with some fighters, even here recently, where guys are reaching out to me. They train out of their garage, and I'm just like, my boy, you have to be connected to a team for me to get you a fight. If you are not connected to a team where I can't talk and collaborate with people and have discussions, then I don't know what I'm getting, and I can't pay your travel. Like I'm not gonna put money in your pocket or put you on this stage if I don't know that you can come out here and at least not look like a dummy for 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, man. I've seen, and like, shout out to those guys for having the confidence, but I've seen so many get run over, man. Like just,
but it's not competent. It's not confidence. It's actually delusion.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah. That too. Yeah.
So I've tried to develop a like I've got a nose for delusion, and I don't deal in it. I won't. And I also, you know, I don't like the hometown cooking thing either. It was like, well, this is his hometown. I really need a good match. Bro, it's a fight. It's a fight. I'm going to put him out there with a guy who's about like him. And it's up to you, coach, to coach him up, to give him the right information so he can go out there and win his fight.
Yeah.
But I don't deal in cans. And that's been difficult for some of these guys who are used to dealing with cans, and, you know, they sell some tickets. So they're like, hey, Miss Amber, you think you can get me? Like, nah, ain't happening. We ain't laying nothing up for you, baby boy. You're gonna come in here and fight somebody.
I love to hear that, man. Yeah. I mean, God, dude, how many? Just probably 10 or 15. We sit there beside each other and watch. Just shouldn't have happened. You know, it's nothing. It's like I said, it's not anything against the promotion. It's just like it's one of those things where the coach is getting the person's ear or whatever, trying to make a fight. You're trying to fill a card up. You have fights to drop off. You know.
And that happens too, right? And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, but I do view a mismatch. Like if there's a mismatch that night, I take that personally. Like I missed on that.
And it's going to happen, right? But still at the same time, it's very exciting that you are you're still in it. You're still in it. You're still doing it. So you physically know and mentally, you just know what to look for, right? And you've seen probably at this point every single style outside and inside the ring. So it's like when you see these guys, you're like, okay, well, or even just looking on paper, you're like, okay, well, this could work, right?
And yeah, I think there are people who like imagine that I'm like at a work, just like film and like and that's it's not like that at all. But just like you said, because I've been around for a minute, I kind of think of these guys as archetypes, you know, striker, grappler, brash grappler, confident striker, hands down. And because of that, you know, I break them down and try to fit them into certain archetypes. And there are archetypes that we know every single time we put them out there against each other, it's going to be a banger. And that's what I look for. You know, I'm looking for two young up and coming guys who like to strike and can defend a takedown. Guess what? I know when I put it together, banger.
Yeah.
Banger.
Yes.
And it happens. I love when those matchups come together.
Have you noticed, I know you have in like actively in the sport, but have you noticed these young guys coming in? It's not like it used to be with us. It's like, this guy's like, I was just never a good grappler, right? So it's like, this guy's a stand-up guy. Well, like, have you noticed that these guys are way more well-rounded at these younger ages? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. The skill sets are different. Like sometimes a good amateur is you know, you see a guy that's a good amateur, you can see his future right there. Like, nah, this kid's going to be okay. He's going to develop and keep cultivating the skills. And I am amazed sometimes. I'll be watching a fight and I'm like, these guys are fighting for free tonight? This is crazy. These dudes are good. And that's a testament to our generation and the guys like us who, after we're done with our competitive years, what do? We get back we're still in the gym. We're just passing on the knowledge to the next group of up and coming guys. And, it's one of the parts of martial arts and life in general that I like. And I think, men do like to mentor young up and coming guys. It's, you know, men generally speaking aren't malevolent and just want to like, no, nobody's going to learn what I learned and I learn it yourself. Like those types of attitudes aren't necessarily good for cultivating skill sets. But I think most men are benevolent and they want to see that they know, like for me, I can't compete anymore, but I can teach this guy a couple things. And so he doesn't make the mistakes I made, or if I can give him this little bit of information that took me 10 years to figure out, I'll save him those 10 years and keep him that much safer. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What age do you think you got out of your own way?
I don't think I'm out of my own way still. I don't think I'm out of my own way still. I'm out here struggling. It's yeah, and again, I think it's why I'm in an interesting position, and I'm uniquely I have unique talents and abilities to speak to these guys on the come up, because I've gotten, you know, I've had success and I've fought big fights and I've made some good money and highest highs, lowest of lows, and I've overcome a lot. And because of that, when I speak to these guys, I speak to them from a perspective of knowing what it's like to be broken, battered, and beaten. And I can truly encourage them and say, my boy, I know it seems rough, but fighting is life. And what's so wonderful about it is if you're willing to face it again, there's always an opportunity for redemption. And same thing I'm telling myself as I'm going into my fight. You know, make it all. Poirier used to say, make life fair. You know, fighting's truly fair. You can go out there and in a 25 minutes, you can make it all fair again. And that's the truth. And that's why fighting's so wonderful. That's why it's such a blessing. That's why I'm so fortunate that, I mean, I built my life with these two hands.
Yeah.
And it's been tough and it's been up and down. But, you know, I could throw my hand up and say, that was me.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, man, it's been amazing just to be right here, you know, seeing all that. I mean, I remember when you were in the Smoothie King, bro. You know what I mean? Like
You and me both.
yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see. Like, I remember you were just, I mean, I was probably 6 months in, and then you come in the gym, and I was just like, dude, this kid's young, and he's like, you just didn't look like you were just such a little pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect. I'm being honest. Like,
Still pretty.
yeah, of course. Just, you know, a little seasoned. But like, yeah, man, you surprised everyone. I was just like, this dude he's game, bro. Like, how do you think do you just had it in you? Like, because some people have like this rough and tough story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That where it's like
I think some guys just get it.
Yeah.
And even when I was in school coming up, like I remember being in high school and people talking about like Matt's probably gonna be doing MMA one day, just because I was scrappy and I'd grapple my friends in the front yard, and I just always kind of got it. I was athletic. I fought. You know, I was never shy away from a fight when I was younger. You know, as I became a teenager and I was smaller than everybody, I kind of stopped fighting because I was like, man, these guys are big. But when I was felt like elementary school, even middle school, I got into I was just kind of a guy that wouldn't shy away from friction, and I think that served me well. Relatively athletic and coordinated, that served me well. But I've always kind of had a chip on my shoulder, had it in me, and I think too. I walked into a fighting gym when I was 18 years old. I think a lot of people think that I've trained since I was a kid or something. I first walked into a gym at 18 after high school. And I think if I can condense it down to as why I did it, it's because I just didn't think people knew that I was a bad little dude. You know, I never had an opportunity to express myself. I loved football, but I mean, I was 5'8", 120 pounds, and I never saw the field. And that made me bitter. You know, not playing on Friday nights, and, you know, 4 years of high school football, 10 years of football altogether as to culminate. And it just felt like it felt very anticlimactic to me. And I think if I would have had like a high school football career, maybe I wouldn't have ever found fighting. But I was so embittered by my lack of production as a high school athlete. I mean, I was mad about it, and I walked into a gym pissed off, and it carried me through.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's yeah. I mean, it did, dude. It did. Like, I've seen like your entire development just sitting here watching. Like, you're the last man on the hill, bro, of our whole team. You know what I mean? And you're still shining. You know what I mean?
Crazy
you're still on main cards. You're still doing the thing. Like, I mean, and you've developed like the commentary, bro. The commentary, the post-fight stuff, the matchmaking. Like, it's something I wish on a lot of people, and we hit on it a little bit earlier, but I've seen so many people that we know, and whether we're closely connected or just I've been around them over the years, like they just don't know when to flip the switch, or they don't take the right steps throughout their career because I guess they're just living in the moment, you know, not planning ahead and like saying like, okay, what's next for me, right? No matter if you're here for another year or you're in the fight game for 5 more years, you're developing the next step in your life. And I guess how do you start putting that together?
Just by accident. I mean, I think, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like I had a master plan. With the matchmaking, it started just as commentary. And I think right away we understood. I'm relatively articulate, well-spoken, and I understand fighting. So it was a pretty easy fit, the commentary. I mean, but I've been commentating 8-9 years, hundreds of fights, and I still haven't like sat down with somebody who's super competent in sports broadcasting and said like, hey, how can we fix things? How can we do this better? I'm still I'm shooting from the hip still.
I think it's the best way to learn, though. I mean, I really do,
Learn on the job. Yeah, so many things is just like get out there and do it. And I think I have, if you listen to my first commentary versus my latest, there has been some development, some cultivating of talents and skills. But I as far as setting up what's next, I mean, 2 years ago, a year ago, before I even took on this role, like I've got a little bit of money put away, and I've always like, what am I going to do next? How am I going to, and I'm looking into Section 8 housing and buying lawn care businesses or buying a pressure washer business, or I'm just like anybody else, just kind of toiling away, and I've had more bad ideas than good, that's for sure. So I'm happy that things have worked out within the sport, and I it goes back. Shout out to my father-in-law. I had a discussion not too long ago with him because I was thinking about putting money into real estate, and he was just like, not in a condescending way, but he was just like, my dude, what do you know about real estate? I was like, I mean, I'm watching YouTube videos, and he was like, I mean, essentially, dude, you're a fist fighter.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that you find ways to monetize your competency within fist fighting, because you have that, and nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take away the wins, the losses, the accomplishments, the highs, the lows. Nobody can take that away from you. And because of that, you do have unique abilities. And I would say, let's not throw our money away at real estate and toiling away. Maybe let's hunker down and see if we can't monetize something else within fist fighting.
That's sound advice too, man. Yeah. It really is. That's great.
Shout out Papa.
Yeah, shout out, dude. So are you still in the card game?
Oh yeah. My wife hates it, but I'm deep in the card game.
Dude, it's fun, bro.
It's so fun.
It's fun, man. I still have quite a few UFC cards. And I just thought about this, bringing it up. Like anytime I see something crazy in the market, I just grab like whatever I can, like in the fight, like when Rousey and Carano was introduced, like when that fight was introduced, like I was like immediately went and grabbed all those I could, you know what I mean? Like,
and I'm sure they soared.
I haven't even looked honestly, but I'm sure they did. But like, I just feel like there's some stay power and some stuff there's not. It's kind of like trading stocks, like day trading stocks, but it's fun, man.
It is fun.
And they come back around and you have legends and you hold on to those things. What do you think about, now that I mentioned that, what do you think about that fight? Like, I was like, dude, I just want to see Carano throw one punch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it just going back to the idea of matchmaking and putting together compelling matchups. Like, Ronda's a legend. She is, but I mean, what Hunter Campbell told her about that fight ultimately came to be true. And she goes on these crazy rants talking shit about Hunter and the UFC and all for exactly what they thought would happen to happen. She went out and armbarred Gina Carano in 17 seconds, and it wasn't competitive whatsoever. Yeah. And if you think for a second, like it was exciting when Ronda was on the rise. It was exciting when she was the next great thing, and then she had all her success. But I don't think anybody walked away from that like, yeah, I'd watch that again.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And matchmaking, again, being I want to hold my tongue because I don't want to say something that just goes viral and blows up. But matchmaking is more difficult than just throwing two name brands together. There's more of a thought process behind it than that. And again, like I'm not saying you got to toil away on a bunch of film, but it's like age matters. Time away from the cage matters.
100%.
Experience under the lights matter. And MVP, I'm rooting for them because there's nothing wrong with having some healthy competition out here. Some other guys getting paid. One of the guys that fought on that card, Adriana Mariah, is a good friend of mine, a former training partner. I love it. My boy, I'm happy you were able to go out there and make a stack of cash in a promotion that's not ONE FC or the UFC. So I think it's in everybody's best interest for these things to continue to move forward and in a positive direction. However, I think the matchmaker was incompetent, and it showed throughout the whole night. There were very few fights that were super compelling.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just throwing some dudes together. It's more than that. There is some thought processes that need to be had. And I also believe that MVP, I watched the card top to bottom, and there were some curious fights on there, dudes we had never heard of, but there were no Steve Bruno's guy, the grandson of Saladin.
Yeah.
But he's having moments because he's brash and he's speaking crazy and he's talking funny. Like, that's fine. But other than him, like, what other prospects were on the card? And I feel like MVP, through that card, that was just a perfect example of all the mistakes of all the other cards from the World Series of Fighting and the Affliction. Like, I've been around this sport for a long time, so I remember World Series of Fighting and Affliction and what was the promote? Elite XC with Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
They all did the same thing. They throw one big name at the top of the card and they hope it carries the rest. And there's very little thought behind, let's build some guys up. Let's see if we can't bring in some young prospects, tell their story a little bit. So I think the MVP thing can be good, but if it continues like it was, it's going to be just like all the other ones. A couple fly-by-night shows, a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
And again, like, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the case, but it has the writing's on the wall. There is nothing they have done that they did in that show that made them stand out against any of the other shows that have tried to pop up and do the thing. And so I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
But they got some shit to figure out. That's for damn sure.
I was okay with Diaz and Perry.
Me too.
Just because, dude, they're both so fun to watch.
Yeah.
They really are. Like, and Perry, dude, like, BKFC is his shit.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. That dude he's built for it, man. Have you seen him do everything else? He went to MMA, then did some boxing stuff, went to BKFC, come back. It looks like he's trying to come back to MMA, but man, BKFC is where, like, that dude is just, I don't know.
He's a different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go to his dirty boxing event in Houston, right? And I don't know if I took a picture with him or not, but Mike Perry's good people, and I'm rooting for him. And he's another guy that just a dude that
he's a knucklehead, bro.
I mean, he went out and paved his own way though. Got cut from the UFC, and the dude's making stacks of money, and very, very happy for Mike Perry, and wishing him continued success. My dog.
What about Poirier, man? You talked to him lately? How's he doing?
We shoot. We'll hit each other with eggplant emojis from every now and then, but yeah, no, I respect Poirier so much that I don't talk to him because I don't want him to know how much of a retard I am. No, I got love for Poirier, and always rooting for him. So proud of him too, and the success that he's garnered, and even post fighting, like he's doing the and he's good at it too. He's good at it. Some of these guys that pop off in the commentary and they get behind the desk, they're not made for it.
Yeah.
But Poirier is. He really is. He's the guy.
Well, you are too, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's cool to see both of you guys. Like, I see him transition out, and he's got his thing lined up. You're still in it, but you got these other things lined up, and you're doing it. And like, you could tell that they were it was almost like they were grooming him for that. They're like, okay, I think he's going to do well at this. And then once he hung it up, it's like they're throwing him in the fire and he's doing good at
I
it.
think they actually approached him about doing it earlier on while he was still actively fighting. They talk about Paul Felder, like getting the Dana White's Contender Series thing, and that's how Paul kind of started making his way into the commentary, and he's great at it too. And I think they were wanting to put, but if you've ever hung out with Poirier, been around him,
Dude, I haven't been around him in 15. I mean, since he was up here, it was a long time. So I mean,
he is a character. He is funny. He's witty, and he's just himself and well spoken, articulate. I mean, that's an easy fit. Like, yeah, this guy's gonna be good at this.
So what else, man? What else is going on with you, bro? I mean,
Third child on the way.
congrats. What's the due date?
I want to say November 18th or 17th. My wife typically induces 1 to 2 weeks early. So it'll be before that. It'll be in November, though, that the baby's due.
Yeah.
So another baby boy.
Just stacking them up, bro.
The good Lord knew that the world needed another Schnell boy. So we named the first one after me. I'm having a hard time convincing her to name the second one after me, too. But with a good performance in a couple weeks, who knows?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So and you're like, you take the dad thing seriously, bro. You're in it.
Yeah.
Like, how's that been? And like, so your youngest, like, how old is he now?
He's 3.
Okay.
My oldest is 6.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just, I mean, everything I've always wanted. And it's hard and it's challenging. And, you know, mama works a full-time job. She's a very important lady. My wife, she's the director of the NICU at Memorial Hermann Children's Hospital in Houston, Texas, in the medical district. I mean, she's got hundreds of nurses working underneath her. She's a very, very competent, and she's an important woman. And I'm proud of her for all of her accomplishments too.
Well, so did they watch, like, your 6-year-old? Is he like watching your fights and stuff now? Is he engaged in that?
He likes to watch dad punch pad. He likes to watch me hit pads.
Okay.
And he likes, you know, if he sees guys on the TV that look like they're fighters, he'll be like, dada, you know. But I don't know. We're at the beginning stages. I think P likes to kind of she likes to punch on my hands a little bit, and she's so involved in violin, swim, dance, all those things. And Bubba's just a little young, but we're gonna be cutting his teeth here before too long. He's gonna wrestle. He's gonna do some. I think the first thing we're gonna have him do is just some gymnastics, just for some coordination and just to get him understanding how to listen to somebody. And
So you're gonna start him early.
oh yeah.
They say a lot. They say that gymnastics is like key for just body awareness at an early age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more of a coordination thing than anything. I don't think that even for me, that's the first thing I did was gymnastics. That was the first thing my mom put me. I don't think intentionally.
How old were you?
That I was going to be a wrestler. I think I was 6 or 7.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she enrolled me in and I didn't do it very long either. But I mean, the things that I learned, rolling and headstands and, you know, kicking up from my back and all that stuff. I mean, I think it did play a part in the development and what I eventually became, and body awareness and coordination, all that stuff plays a part. So I think it was big. And for Maddie, you know, I do have the idea of him wrestling, and I'd like him to tumble a little bit before he starts shooting double legs. But it wasn't that way for me. It was just kind of like my sister did gymnastics. I was around.
Okay.
So I wanted to do something too, and they put me in. And never wore a leotard though.
To wrestling.
No, I wore. Okay, I guess I'm lying. Yeah, I did wear leotards, but wrestling the singlet's technically a leotard.
Yeah, bro.
Just call me out like that.
No, what was your wrestling career? We never really talked about that.
I only wrestled 1 year in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrestled my freshman year because I lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I went to Choctawhatchee High School. Go Indians. And we wrestled 1 year. My dad though always knew, like he just knew, like my dad wrestled a little bit overseas, and even when he came back, he wrestled in the US just a little. He wasn't too serious like wrestling year round or anything, but I think he always kind of knew, like, I bet if I got this kid wrestling, he'd do pretty well. And so my senior year, we had a wrestling team. He urged me to try out. I went and I tried out, came home after day one, said, Dad, I don't like this. I want to quit. And my dad said, quit? I don't think so. So,
and that segue right into fighting, I guess.
yeah.
That's crazy to think about, man. Well, we've lost a couple people. I wanted to give, I wanted to give respect to your mom, because I haven't talked to you since then. That's your, your business, but I just want to give respect to her. And then,
Appreciate that.
George, too.
Yeah. R.I.P. Georgetown.
Yeah.
My boy. Shout out mama, miss mama all the time. Breaks my heart. Lost my heart. But yeah. Shout out Georgetown too.
Yeah. GT, bro.
My boy. That was also sad. It was kind of hit us quick, and Georgetown was the matchmaker before I was, and even I think my first couple cards we were kind of working together a little bit, and then eventually we moved on, and Georgetown went and took some other roles with some different promotions. But Georgetown, a staple, a guy who paid his dues as well, and missed and remembered.
Yeah, man, he was always fun to talk to about matchups and stuff, and just the sport. He's an old school boxer, man. Just he was a cool guy, man. I had a lot of conversations with him, like before fights and stuff. We were there a day ahead of time, weigh-ins and all that stuff. I always respect him. I like that guy. And it was sad to see that happen, all of a sudden. Yeah. Well, I mean, fights coming up, bro. You look ready. I mean, I feel like once again, it's just exciting to talk to you beforehand, because it's always like after, you know what I mean? I mean, what do you think? I mean,
go out there, give it hell.
Yeah.
Give it my best. Try my best. We'll see what happens.
Do you have predictions like on what do you think he's gonna do? Like,
I mean, if he does what he does, he rips hands, rips the body, good footwork, not easy to track, moves well, dynamic. But we know that he's gonna bring it, and I'm gonna bring it too, and we're just gonna have to see who gets it done first. But I'd be willing to bet that I'm going to be a huge underdog, and I think the chatter will be that this guy's going to smack me, but don't believe him. Hit that money line.
Oh yeah,
the old dog's got bark. The old dog's got bites still in him, and I can get it done.
Well, good, bro. Well, I'm excited for it. I'm happy. It's always good to talk to you, and hopefully.
I do want to mention next event for AKA.
Yes, my bad. I forgot to bring that up. Yes, let's talk about it.
4th of July. This will be our biggest event yet. I'm in the middle of putting this card together and curating 12 absolute bangers going down at Barksdale Air Force Base. We're doing it in a B-52 air hangar.
That's awesome.
It's going to look like a stage of Tekken or Mortal Kombat. It's going to be so freaking cool. We'll be airing live on Armed Forces Network, so it'll be going out to 160 different countries. And I'm trying to feature some of our best upcoming and rising talent. Hunter Smith, our one of our best prospects from AKA. He'll be headlining the card, and he'll be fighting Billy Jack Cup, and that will be the main event of AKA. I'm not sure what the event's actually called. I like the Great American Bash. That's
there
what
you
I
go.
like. But I don't know if that's copyrighted or anything.
We're at 250 years of America too. Kind of lines up, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's so really excited about that. AKA is on fire. We have a lot of big things coming up, and Miss Amber and the team, things are about to move quick. And
shout out to her and John, man. It's been awesome to see them grow that promotion too.
And again, ups and downs. There's been ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's been a tough road, and but we're trending in the right direction, and I'm very happy to be a part of it, and I'm going to be a big part of it for a long time to come.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for your fight. Ready to see what happens, and I'm ready to talk to you afterwards, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.